Mr. Babukar Sar, who was previously working at the African Development Bank. A round of applause for him as well. And of course, this one here needs no introduction, at least to some of us who know her. She's indeed a prominent figure, a woman that a lot of us look up to because she's brave, she's powerful, so intelligent, and very illustrious. I have the honor to introduce Madam Olidiba Wada. She is the founder, president of Gail. You're welcome as well. I like the fact that at least we have a woman, though, seated there. Her presence indeed is enough because she indeed represents us very well. So that's enough. And lastly, we have Mr. Siring Papa Jallo, who was a former director of the African Development Bank. A round of applause for him as well. Thank you so much, and you're all welcome to this championship. So for those of us who are just coming here today for the first time, hearing about the debate competition that has been going on for the past 6 months, I think it's important that we understand what has been really happening since the onset. So this started actually in June, and it started with the meet and greet where the various schools, it was about 16 schools who were present there at the beginning, and they were introduced to who is a lawyer living in UK, who also took these participants through styles and techniques of debate. And of course, debating is just not about, coming and talking. You have to have that unique style in you. What makes you stand out? So he was able to take the participants through all of these things there at the meet and greet. And of course, the team had the opportunity to visit these schools and choose the people they wanted to be in this debate competition. So they went to 16 schools, and these schools were Muslim, from Muslim St. Augustine's, St. Joseph's, Gambia Senior Secondary School, Methodist Academy, Glory Baptist, Daddy Job, Kanifing East, Kairaba Senior Secondary School, Mahad Senior Secondary School, Sukuta, Yunus English, Nusrat, Scan Aid, Charles Jau, and Unity Comprehensive. And throughout the process, we had, of course, elimination rounds. That is why today we've narrowed it down to 4 schools. And so after the meet and greet, we had the boot camp. The boot camp was when we actually had the first round, and that took place in Sandela Camp in Khartoum. And in that round, unfortunately, we had the first schools who were eliminated, and they were Muslim, Gambia Senior Secondary School. Are they here, actually? They're not here. Okay, they're here. I want you all to give them a round of applause as well. Because I do know that debating is not easy, even though once in a while I try to do it. It's not always easy, though. So when you are able to master that courage to come here on the podium and speak your mind, that alone is champion enough. And Daddy Job was also eliminated in that round. Sukuta Senior Secondary was also eliminated in the first round. And then we move on to the second round, which took place at Tango, and Auntie Adilat Sose, who you all know as the vice chair of the TRRC, was there, and Fabakari Kale was also there as speakers in that second round. And in that second round, we had the likes of Glory Baptist being eliminated, Mahad Senior Secondary School were also eliminated, Scan Aid was eliminated, and Charles Shaw. If they're here, I'd like you all to give them a round of applause. And then we proceeded to the semi-final round. And in the semi-final round, we had, it was actually also a boot camp at Site Johe, which is just an island of Kuloro in the West Coast region. And in that particular round, which was the semi-finals, we had Kanifing East were eliminated. Kairaba Senior Secondary School were also eliminated in the semi-finals. Yunus was also eliminated, and Gambia Senior Secondary School were also eliminated. If they're here, I'd like you all to give them a round of applause. And of course, from the semi-final round, we are here today at the finale, and I like the winners, of course, or the participants of today's contest to come here for us to have a little chit-chat before they take their seats back. But I'd just like to introduce them to come on stage now. And I first of all start with Nusra Senior Secondary School, Ami Sohna, Abdullah Cham. If they're here, a round of applause for them. Nusra Senior Secondary School, Abdullah Cham. Those are the two. You may take your seats there just so that the crowd familiarizes with you. And St. Joseph Senior Secondary School, Ramatulai Gassama and Yama Gomez. Good, good, good. Oh, yeah, two strong girls there. So this is going to be very interesting. And we move on to the other bench, Methodist Academy. We have Ami Fal. A round of applause for Ami and Fatima Gomez. They would be, okay, maybe I should not announce now who is going to be the government and opposition bench. We'll do that shortly after all the speeches. And finally, we have St. Augustine's Senior Secondary School, and we have Ibrahim Acham and Arthur Badukwa. A round of applause for all our finalists, please, once again. They look so bright. They look ready, though. Abdullah, I don't like the fact that you look a little bit tense. And from how I see everything, it looks like you're going to be a major speaker here. But let me start with her. Tell me your name, and how do you feel being here in the finale today? I'll hold the mic for you, don't worry. You just have to talk, yes.
Okay, good morning to you all. My name is Amifal, a student from Gambia Methodist Academy. Well, it's a final, and everybody is expected to give the best. But to me, I take it as it's one family, and it's the Zim family from the 16 schools.
What's the Zim all about? What's the Zim family about? Oh, that's your little thing. Okay, that's their little thing. So let me move on to the other bench. Yes, let me come to her. You look so cute. Yeah, tell me, what's your name? And how do you feel about today's final?
Hello, everybody. I am Ami Sohna, a Nusratarian. Well, it has been a long journey, as he has said, and we are finally at the finals. And what's really important right now is not the prize or whatsoever. What's important is delivering and saying our part as a citizen.
Very well. A round of applause for them. Yeah, the judges are looking at me already. This is going to be a very tough final, though. But we will not take much of their time because they have like the whole day to just pour everything that they've been working on today. So I just quickly move on to the guide here, and we'll, of course, start with a welcoming remark from the president of GAM Africa Institute for Leadership, who happens to be someone that I look up to, and I had a conversation with this person. So if I tell you that she's indeed resourceful and someone that we young girls can actually look up to, you have to believe me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Madam Oli Dibawada, the president of GAM African Institute for Leadership. Ma'am.
Thank you very much, Fatu, for those kind words. I'm humbled. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to you all on the 2019 final championships of the GAM Africa Institute for Leadership. The process of this journey, as you all know, for the youth has been a journey of learning and sharing. Do I hold both? Okay, it's okay. Okay. This one down?
No, you can hold.
Okay, a journey of learning and sharing. It has also been a journey of self-discovery and a journey of hope and a journey of enlightenment. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what Gail is all about. It is about setting pathways to inspire and motivate our current and future generations to aspire beyond the limits of the sky. The sky is not the limit. When I decided to establish the Gail some 3 years back, my dream was and still remains to support our youth and women to build self-confidence by helping them to acquire adequate knowledge and communication skills, creative critical thinking and problem-solving skills, interpersonal skills, self-directional skills, and to develop constructive and critical competences of soft and emotional life skills, as Fatu has mentioned. And this is to transform them into ethical, and I really emphasize on the word ethical, future leaders. This requires an accompaniment process to help them find their own paths and growth, to realize that the grass is actually not greener on the other side, but that the grass is greener where you water it. Actually, here at home in the Gambia is where we have a lot of work to cultivate, nurture, and water this grass. Like many other organizations, institutions, and individuals, we all have a collective responsibility to continue to make our humble contributions to nurture our Gambian cultural values into our youth, a responsibility that we must all endure. I don't want to say much because today is not about talking about what we are expected to do or expected to say. Today, we celebrate and marvel at the transformative processes that its youths have continued to go through as they continue to grow. I indulge all of you to join me in celebrating these amazing youths who are now taking the reign of leadership. They are taking the reign of transformative leadership into their hands through the various forms, and one of which is what has brought us here together today to discuss the issues of national relevance in our country. The process of this debate, as has been highlighted, started off 6 months ago, initially with 16 schools, and today we have 4 schools engaging during the final champions. For us, today there are no winners or losers. Each and every individual and all the schools and the representatives who participated in this journey are winners. They are winners because they dared to dream. They are winners because they dared to challenge. And they are winners because they dared to leap. So let us help them to continue to dare to soar. I thank you all.
Thank you so much, Madam Olidiba Wada. Round of applause for her once again. Did that sink in? It did sink in, right? So you are all winners today, like she said. I like the fact that you had that positive energy there, which is very, very good in something as huge as a finale. So whether you win or not, you are all winners because you dared to dream and you dared to come this far. So I just want you to put that at the back of your mind as well. Thank you so much, Madam, for that inspiring speech. And now we move on to, of course, our motivational speaker for today's occasion, and he's also a young person who has been breaking barriers. This person is Yali Washington Fela, and he's also an entrepreneur. He's been doing great work throughout these years, and everybody that's here today must have come across him in one way or the other. And we've gone to a lot of functions where in one way or the other he was serving as a speaker or just motivating young people on these different platforms. And I'm glad that today again I happen to come cross paths with him as he once again comes to inspire a lot of young people who are here today, who might also in one way or the other inspiring to be entrepreneurs, but also feel the need to build themselves internally, self-esteem, your confidence. And as debaters, I think this would really help a lot in your various endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mr. Omodi Lamin Fati, who happens to be ML's poetry founder or proprietor once again. He's our motivational speaker for today. You're welcome.
Good afternoon. How are we all doing? So the task of being a motivational speaker is so challenging, especially to this gathering, the people in the audience, and to the people sitting at the high table, and more so to the debaters. So in business, we don't have debate. What we have is pitching competition. So you come in, you present your business idea, another person come in, you present your business idea, then you defend it. So in business, what we have, but it's all about debating. So when I was called last week and I was told that I will become the speaker, so I guess like what should I speak on? So I think about a lot of things, but I said to myself, let me just come and see who are the audience. So basically, I will speak on personal development because I speak more on business, and I see that the audience here are more students, mostly because this is intended to them. So I'll speak about personal development, which I am so passionate about, and these are things which I have used personally, and it has helped me to excel. And these are some of the things that some of the most successful people in the world, even in Gambia, starting back home in the Gambia and around the globe, they have used, and they have achieved tremendous results. Do you realize one thing? The decade is ending. Like the decade of starting from 2010 to 2019, it's ending. It's just about 2 weeks away. So we are beginning a new decade. I think my speech came at the right time. So the number one thing that I always tell people is defining the purpose of your life. As an individual, you are brought into this world for a purpose. So sometimes you have to ask yourself, it will be very difficult for you to know, but this is a thoughtful process that you have to go through. What is the purpose of my life? Because if you know the purpose of your life, that becomes easy. Muhammad Jah once said, there's 2 important days in the life of a human being. The day that you are born and the day that you know the purpose of your life. Because a lot of people are living in this world, but they are living the dreams of other people. And as long as you are living the dream of other people, you can never become you. Because you is the only one that can stop you from achieving your dream. And more so to the high school students. Maybe probably most of you will be in your grade 11 or grade 10 or going to grade 12. This is the challenge that most of you face. You don't know the career path that you will choose. You'll have your father tell you be a medical doctor or become a lawyer. Your mom will tell you become a banker. Someone will tell you do this. So at the end of the day, no one will tell you become a businessman. I think this is one of the most strange things into the country. Very few people will tell their kids become a businessman, but business is this stuff. It is also a career that you can choose. Most of those who are studying accountant, though I have not studied accountancy in senior school, I'm a pure science student, physics, chemistry, biology, but I turned out to become a businessman. So defining the purpose of your life makes your life much more easy. You look into your life. More so, I tell people, like, look into the future. 20 years, 30 years, 40 years from now, who do you actually want to become? If you sit watching television or you sit with your kid, what is the life that you actually want to live at that time? Do you want to become a president? Do you want to become a minister? What do you actually want to become? If you started from the top-bottom approach, that will actually make it clear for you. And we have what we call like the 2020 life plan rule. Most of you who have listened to me before, or you have listened to my mentor, my business father, Mustafa Njai, you will hear him say these things at different occasions. In life, it is divided into 4 quarters. We call it the 2020 life plan rule. The first stage is between 0 to 20. 0 to 20, this is one of the most critical stages in life, and I think most of you people fall under that category. This is the stage where we call it the caution stage. This is where you have to be very careful about the kind of things that you do. And this is where you, as young people, anything that you do, someone is doing it for you. You either have your parents or you have your guidance that are actually doing everything for you. You go to school, you do a lot of things. But I want to go into the second category. That is the second 20, that is from 20 to 40. This is the career development stage. And I want to speak about this. Because if you want to become successful, you have to choose a particular career that you want to do. And that career should be clear to you from the onset. Because research has shown that it takes someone 20 years to become successful at what you do. And when you are getting into your 20s, like a lot of thoughts will come into, I actually want to do this, actually want to do this, actually want to do this. But if you know the purpose of your life, this career path will become easy. For me, I choose to do business. I actually know this will become my career path from 0 to 20. This is why now you choose a career path, then you focus in that. You can either go to university, or you go to colleges, or you do professional development courses, or you can actually start any trade that you want. So this is the time that you build yourself in a career. Probably in the long run, you may get married and have 1 or 2 kids, but majority of the people won't be successful at this stage. So maybe very, very rare people, very rare, you see people become successful. Then the third quarter is the 40 to 60. this is the innovative stage or the creativity stage. This is now like you have choose a career. Now you are at the top, at the peak of your career. Now you are very innovative at what you do, or you are successful about what you are doing. Now that is the time that people, anything that they said, oh, when they become, okay, who is the best accountant in the Gambia? They will say Mr. So. Who is the best medical doctor in the Gambia? They will say Mr. So. Or who is one of the biggest business people in the Gambia? I hope so. They say ML Poultry, who's founded by ML Party. So this stage too is important. Then you have your kids, you have your family. Then here you focus more on taking care of your kids, and you focus on your work. And the last quarter is 60 to 80. This is where not many people will get to live it, but some of us might get to witness it. This is why at the giving back stage, this is at the stage where you get to mentor young people. You become successful in your career, and then you have your family, you raise up your family, you give back to the society in whatever way you can. Is it through your knowledge or through your personal wealth, where you can contribute towards the development of your nation? And this will lead me to one thing, that is the goal setting. Goal setting is important as a person. If you know the purpose of your life, you have the 2020 life plan about what you want to do in your life. You have to set goals. And you have to set like immediate goals, short-term and long-term goals. Now you have all this, you can set, okay, in the next, from 20 to 40, what do I actually want to do? You set in your 20-year goal. Then in this 20-year goal, you break it down to yearly goals, you break them down to quarterly goals, you break them down to monthly, weekly, then daily goals. So your life around, anything that you do in your life will be reflected on these goals. For example, Dan Pena is a $50 billion guy. He said, if you actually want to know how much time you waste in your life, write down your goals, short-term, immediate, and long-term goals in 1 week, then you see the kind of people that you interact with. For example, if I talk with Babukar, or I've interacted with Babukar on Monday, then I come, okay, I have interacted with Babukar Tarawale, and this is what I talk with. So I look at my goals, what do our conversation or what do our interaction have to do with this goal? Then maybe on Tuesday, I meet with Mariam, the same thing. Wednesday, I meet with Mustafa Khan, the same thing. So at the end of the week, he said you can sit and evaluate this. Then this is when you will know, are you actually wasting your time or not? Because anything that you have to do in this world have to be relevant to your goals in one way or the other. So to the young people here, I know some of this might be, you might not grasp the concept right now, but you make more research about it. And there's one thing that I believe so much in this world. Anything that you conceive, anything that man can conceive, it is achievable. In the last 5 years back, I was a high school student. I said to myself, okay, in high school, I don't want to do grade 12 because to me, I cannot spend 3 years in high school doing the same thing. I went to university whilst I was in grade 11 because I set goals. When I was going to high school, I realized why are people going to grade 10, grade 11, grade 12? Is there any way that I can cut down grade 12? I realized, oh, there is private was. I started private was in my grade 12 whilst my colleagues are thinking about doing the grade 12 exam. I was busy at the university. I get into the university, year 1, year 2. I realized that, oh, I will graduate. And if I graduate, the next thing that people will struggle with is jobs, job seeking. I said to myself, what can I do to ensure that I won't face that hurdle? Then I started my own business, ML Poultry. I grew up naturally as a businessman. My father is a businessman, going to my grandfather. So business is not something new to me. But starting a business for myself, it is new. But I have the mindset because I am groomed to become a businessman. I think, okay, what can I do to ensure that I won't become a job seeker, but rather than to become a job creator? I have started my poultry with about a few hundred chickens. When I was starting, a lot of people tell me behind my back, like, this guy is the most ridiculous guy we have ever met. He's at university year 2. He's thinking about starting a business. But always, what I think in my head, I always want to be one step ahead of other people. Because if we are one step ahead of other people, it is good because you can be able to achieve so in a short period of time. I started my business in 2018 with about a few hundred chickens, and so far, within 2 years, ML Poultry is the biggest poultry brand in the Gambia today, and we have gone from a production capacity of 33 chickens to now I have built a farm we can take about 4,000 chickens. And that all happened within 2 years. And throughout this, and still I'm in university, I'm graduating this year. And I have gone to some of the best universities in the world. I've been at University of Iowa in the United States, and I've also been at King Abdullah University of Science and Technology in Saudi Arabia. I'm speaking to you because I was in your shoe. Today, like I have traveled the world. I'm an Al-Hajj because not many young people become an Al-Hajj. I'm starting to have someone an Al-Hajj who have done the Umrah. All this I'm telling you, it's not just I am bragging, but I am telling you, you can achieve whatever you want to be. But what is more important is you knowing the purpose of your life. And this is not just to these high school students, but it is for all of you, most of those who are between the 20s to 40s. Knowing the purpose of your life will make your life easier, but success comes from hard work. You don't just achieve success overnight. If you become successful very quickly, if you do not take your time, your success will go away very quickly. But I believe with the kind of people that I have seen in this room, that the future of Gambia is bright. And I am hopeful that in the next 5 to 10 years, I will meet with some of you guys. Maybe you might become medical doctors or you might become big lawyers. And I will say, oh, like I once met with you at the Gail final and I inspire you. Today, most of the things that I do is inspiring someone. Because alhamdulillah, my story has inspired so many people. Thousands of young people, both in Gambia and across Africa. And for me to reach at this stage at the age of 21, I am very young. I'm not just someone 25. If I can achieve it, there is no way that you cannot achieve it. Sometimes when I look into my life, and I'll end with this, I say to myself, I have achieved all this. Probably God has sent me into this art for a purpose. And I believe that my purpose into this art is to tell the young people of the Gambia and Africa is that it doesn't matter the family background that you come from. It doesn't matter the age you have. It doesn't matter the education that you have. But as long as you have the right vision and you have the right team behind you and you are willing to work hard, you can solely achieve your dream. And I'm a living manifestation of that a young person from Brikama, a young person from Gambia who actually started a small business can grow to become an international renowned person. And this all happened in the period of 2 years. And I'm looking into the future as bright, and I believe that you young people in the Gambia, most of you young people sitting here at the high school team, you can become like me and even bigger than me. Today, I'm looking at people like Mohammed Jah, people like Mustafa Nya, to become like them. Because I always aim for the top. You aim high, you will achieve it. I thank you all.
Oh, wow. No, I don't even know what to say. Like, after that strong and inspiring speech, please give him a round of applause one more time, please. Oh, yeah. I don't know. ML keeps defying the odds. Like he said, he does not want to do what every other person is doing. And I see that in him. ML went to Umrah. Some few months ago, I saw the picture. I'm like, oh my goodness, Emil did it again. He just had to. A lot of us be like, oh, I'm so young, I'm not gonna go. But Emil decided that he was going to do it, and he did it. So it's so inspiring, the things that you keep doing. And I must say that we are all proud of what you're doing, and a lot of young people are also looking up to you, especially those who feel like they can't do a certain type of job, maybe because society feels that that is not what they're supposed to do. And you've defied the odds, and you continue doing that. And one thing I believe in so much is setting a goal. My friends who know me know me for that. I set my goal and I make sure I go in for it. Last year, by this time, I started work. Yes, full-time work for just like 2 months already. Last year by this time. And I told myself that I'm going to get myself a car because I realized that I lived far. And where I live, it was always a struggle to get to my work, and sometimes I got there late. But how I was going to get the car, I didn't know how, because I didn't even have all that in my account at that time. But today I am here and I got my car, so I decided to work towards it. So like he said, I mean, nothing Join me, welcome on stage Mr. Babukar Sar, as I earlier introduced him as a previously working at the African Development Bank.
I take this one? Both
Yes,
of them?
I can hold this.
All right, thank you very much. First of all, I think listening to the last presentation made by Mamadou and the few remarks made by the participants here, it is with a feeling of hope, really, that I start this short remark. I don't think it's the kind of speech I'm going to give here, but rather way of underlining the significance of this series of events that have culminated into this finals, that is the series of debates. What I would like to do, to say in a few words, is to underline the significance, the import of what you have gone through. Because you've gone through a process, okay, and in that process, I'm sure you must have gained something. Even if you haven't gained something, that process must have marked you in one way or the other. So perhaps if I can start by recognizing my fellow high table colleagues out here, and then the young men and women, and also all other distinguished invitees to this event. I would like to start also by congratulating the founders of Gail, and also to commend your commitment, you the young people who didn't hesitate to give your confidence to Gail. Gail came up with a very innovative program, and you were able to buy into that program. Without you, we wouldn't have been here today. So it's one can say that it's a mutually beneficial partnership that has brought you here. I want to start with some cliches, or maybe just one cliche, but it's not really any kind of cliche. I'm sure you've heard it many times before, that young people are the future. You hear that every day. It's even become a cliche. As you know, a cliche is something that people can bandy around all the time. But I think I would like to invite you to believe in that. It's not just a cliche. The demographics of our country shows that you are the future. And if you go back after this event, just reflect on that fact. Anytime you want to do something, tell yourself that you have some inbuilt natural sort of source of motivation, which is the fact that you're young people and you represent the future. We guys are going away. We are the old guys out here, you know? So you are the future. As Momodu said, after 60, you are supposed to take the back seat and mentor and use your resources to help others. And in this, I think Gail is a very good example of using your resources to help others. I think this is something that I think you also should understand. As they've said, my whole life has been in education, human capital development. I started teaching in Gambia High School some years back, and many students passed through my hands, including, I'll have to say it, Yaya Jame was my student for 2 years, and many other people, okay? Whenever I say this, they ask me, how was he? I say, no, I won't comment on that, okay? So human capital development, I think, is very important. Human capital is that you consider yourself, I just said that you're the future. By being the future, it means that you should consider yourself as capital that the country can use, okay? That your families can use, okay? And but human capital has to be trained, and that's why education comes in. Education comes in, and education also gives you an idea of your potential. What Mamadou Lamin just said a few minutes ago in his presentation shows the kind of mileage that can come when you have self-confidence, because he's shown that he has potential, and he's inviting you also to recognize that you have potential. So human capital can only be developed through what we call human development. And in human development, in our business, we are talking about education, we are talking about health, we are talking about nutrition. It's also necessary for you to understand that skills, knowledge, responsibility, accountability, to be in good health, respectful and be respectable, these are all parts of ensuring that your human capital, okay, is put to the greatest use possible. And when I say a human being becomes human capital through human development, that is why in every society there are services for education, there are services for health, there are services also for nutrition. Most of you may know let's say when a child is in the mother's womb, it is critical that that child has proper nutrition because there are certain things that can happen only at that stage. Okay? Now, when you grow also, you have to make sure that you eat properly and you don't take drugs, for example, and that's also a part of the health. You don't smoke. All these things are ways of preserving, respecting, knowing that I am a human capital element. Okay, my parents have taken me to school. This country has provided schools and training activities. I shouldn't, after going through all those things, waste my life through alcohol, through drugs, through smoking abusive substances. Okay? Knowledge is power. That's another cliche, as you know. Knowledge is power. But not just any kind of knowledge. Okay? And that is why this is where I bring in the junction with this event. The knowledge, when you come to debate, you have to know what you have to say. I'm happy that I have Papa Jallo here. I mean, I remember in the 70s when we were at Gambia High School, we used to have a VU, and we will debate what is called verante. And sometimes during the verante, you say something, and Papa Jallo will ask me, Foko wir, hamna li malawa. That is the only thing I could say. Hamna li malawa. I don't give him evidence or whatever. I just say hamna li malawa. We have now gone beyond that. So that's why knowledge is power, and you have to seek it. Okay? Empirical knowledge. And be careful of fake news. I just saw 3 types of fake news this morning that was sent to me. Okay? Also remembering when we were, during a debate process, let us consider the debate as an event, as a competition. The person on the other side comes armed with what? Knowledge, and he's ready to dialogue with the other side. The other side should not be considered as an opponent, okay? Not as an enemy, rather, not as an adversary, not as an opponent, but just as a person, an interlocutor that you're discussing with. So it is important, and it is part of debating decorum, for example, to respect the other side and respect your interlocutor. The onus is on you as a debater to convince the other side with what? With compelling and cogent arguments. You don't need to shout. It has to be dispassionate. Okay? And finally, I can say that the skill of debating, all the elements that I'm trying to summarize here, are elements that you will need in life. When you get to any positions in this society, wherever it is, if you have to make correct policy making, correct decision making, you have to make sure that you are able to convince people. You have to make sure that you do your homework. If you are in an office, you have to make sure that before any staff meeting, and where you're supposed to make a presentation, for example, you make sure that you've done your homework to make sure that you come with evidence, with information that will convince the other side. And that would enhance your own credibility. So without much ado, I would like to thank Gail for inviting me to say these few words. And I'm sure we can look forward to a very, very lively and very interesting and instructive debating session. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sarada. A round of applause for him one more time. Now, I believe those were some things to ponder over, especially for the debaters here. And I just hope that Omar Saibo and Ekamara took note of that, because I do know when Ekamara comes here on stage and Saibo, even before they start, you already just want to pack your stuff and go. The rivals will be scared already because the energy they come with and the power they come with. But I do hope today you will take your time and just make sure that you pass on your messages as clear as possible, and you make sure that you back your arguments with evidence. And that was basically what Mr. Sargis dilated on. A round of applause for him one more time, please. I'm sure those were enough advices we had this morning, and so we'd just like to take a little interlude, but before that, I'd like our able guests, special guests, to take their seats, and of course the debaters as well, but first, we allow them to take their seats. A round of applause for them one more time. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Thank you. All right. So, and debaters, you can also take your seats down there in the crowd. And now I have the honor to call on, I was told Jali, because I see Mariama Cham here. I don't know if she's the one coming or later. So we're about to have a little interlude now before we go into the debate proper. And I'd just like you to stay put, because we'll be having the debate shortly after the entertainment. So if you can just bear with us and still be around, the reason why we're here will still come right after. Okay, so I've been told it's poetry first before we have some music. So Adam Ambosh, you can come on stage and give us some poetry. A round of applause for him. He was with us at the Poetry Slam Championship, and yeah, he made it all through the semi-finals, and I can say he's got some great lines. So Adam, it's good to see you once again. Are you excited that you're coming and doing poetry once again? Because I know you were not happy when we said, oh, Adam Mboji is going home. He wanted it so bad, but he's really good. A round of applause for him.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon to everyone. As he mentioned earlier, my name is Adam Mboji, and I am particularly glad and grateful to be here today. And I would like to say Abdullah is a brother too. So the title of this poem is called Who is to be Blamed? And I hope you would learn something from it. Yen sama mbokku doomu aadama yi yen jot nañu bàyyi gas di suul yen jot nañu bàyyi rey ginaar gu ñuul ngir liggéeyanteeg yàqalante suñu biir yow nga liggéey nit ba àndatul ak sagoom nga jaxase koog mbokkam taxale koog ay waajuram jaxase xelam ak xolam ba mel ni poto poto ba loolu tax muy daw ba bolonkono ba loolu tax lu ne teg mu jël jaay mu tas kër baay xeex ak nijaay dëkk si jënd ak jaay yow mu def loolu nga toog di ko seetaan waaye bul fàtte ne olof njaay dafa ne kuy naan di laxatu soo mandee rek feeñ ndax sama xarit ju baax ji nee na bu dee jotee ku dund doo gor bu xaalis rotee mu wóor la ne moomoo ko bul ko for bu la sa jabar saagee bul ko dóor ndax góor day def fi góor. But tell me, who is to be blamed when that corrupt leader, that tyrant killer, that brutal murderer who is hungry for power, greedy for leadership and stingy for money, waking chaos in his calm sleep and chaos in his calm sleep and deep in their hearts, they've developed speed in lying, shooting, and killing innocent people. Where men's soul poisoned by greed. But how can our future be better if we don't come together, treat each other as blood brothers and sisters, and no more live in the era of darkness? Let me ask you this question. How can there be a desired unity and prosperity if corruption, racism, sexism, tribalism is the crisis? For vanity has made our leaders gone astray, and we have lost the way. For the discussions of lesbianism and gay should be slayed to conquer dismay for a peaceful world. A world where harmony will prevail, a world where you and I will correct our evil actions. But tell me, who is to be blamed? when peace is kicked out for corruption, when politicians give birth to brutality and seek for division, when unionism, which is the unit sister of success, is buried in the grave just for the sake of position, when wisdom is neglected, when the African culture is abandoned, when knowledge is given a deaf ear, when morality shall be gone to sleep, when even the rich becomes richer and the poor becomes poorer. See, my dear Gambians, my dear brothers and sisters, look, the future of this country can only be bright if we do what is right and be the architect of our own destiny, for our country is in plight and we can no more take it. Kon kaay leen ñu fettale ñu tettale buggante ñaanalante jàppante xelalante te nekk benn te xam na lu waay rendi si sa loxo lay naaj su boobaa ku fi xaddi ñu tette la ku fi mer ñu neexal la ñu booloo roofoo lonkoo mankoo bennoo joxante loxo te nekk benn soose naan ko ngakafu ngaake kilinti pël naan ko areng wane ngooto joolaa bi naan ko jiwab mañikaana kokol séeréer bi naan ko ngari yo indef leen ñu aar suñu réew mi Gambia. For my brother said, Nenyu benno ñu joxante loxo ndaxte mbolo moy doole jarul ngiro jarul ngaayo Nenyu benno ñu joxante loxo ndaxte mbolo moy doole jarul ngiro jarul ngaayo.
Thank you so much. A round of applause for Adam and Bosch one more time. Te Abdullah Talula de Mungital Pipa, because I saw you were smiling, but your head was right in your book. So it's another different vibe. But thank you so much for that wonderful poetry. And I like the fact that you decided to close it with some music. See, the poets these days, they're deciding to bring a little bit of, some different vibe and taste to all their poetry. I'm sure Mr. Sar and Manawada and the like will be like, oh my goodness, what are these kids doing nowadays? But it's really amazing how young people are coming on board and taking on spoken word poetry and in fact writing, because this is something that we don't see happening often, but now we're seeing that young people are seeing a need for them to take on writing and take on something like poetry, and they give it their own vibe and creativeness, which is also very good. But now we have another vocalist in our midst, and I'm sure she is around because I saw her around. Mariama Cham is going to come and give us a little bit of music before we go on to other items in the agenda. Is Mariama here? Okay, a round of applause for Mariam Cham as she comes on board. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. How are we? Yeah. Khalei Africa Nelen andando Boka bena khol Bokit bena now Tubapi Japone Suñu maam ya xajalelen feewalelen bañi di làkk français ñi anglais ñi portugais ñi italien xale Afrika ne leen àndandoo bokk benn xool bokkit benn ndab tubaab yi japoneen suñu maam yee xaajale leen feewale leen ba ñi di làkk français ñi anglais ñi portugais ñi italien ne leen àndandoo dellu cosaan. This song is about Bagwe. Baba tema, Baba Baba Tewa. Ah, Baba Tewa. Mulbe fala Baba Tewa. Baba Tewa. Ah, Baba Tewa. Mulbe fala Baba Tewa. Funding Kyalule. Funding Kyalule. Funding Kyalule. Mulbe fala Baba Tewa. Ah, Baba Tewa, mulbe fala Baba Tewa. Asarate nalula, asarate falula, asarate kerinyol mulbe fala Baba Tewa. Ah, Baba Tewa, mulbe fala Baba Tewa. Baba Tewa, yo Baba Tewa, everybody. Baba Tewa. Yeah, Baba Tewa. Let me hear you say, Baba Tewa. Ah, Baba Tewa. Baba Tewa. You guys know Miniyamba? Can I give it? But this Miniyamba is my version. I composed the song. Miniyamba sabaye konolelo. Saba miniyamba sabaye konolelo. Saba miniyamba. Miniyamba sabaye konolelo. Saba miniyamba sabaye konolelo. Saba miniyamba are. Arengaure yautere salide gachewa ya jabugonga sonyu Gambia monyu bole sonyu Gambia bi ñun ñoko mom buñu manti dem mbadi dulo nañu jubo Tabandi khulo wa Miniyamba Saba Miniyamba Miniyamba Saba ye konolelo Saba Miniyamba Miniyamba Saba Miniyamba Everybody Miniyamba Saba ye konolelo Miniyamba yo, Miniyamba. Hey, Miniyamba yo, Miniyamba sabaye konolelo, saba Miniyamba mbolo, mbolo moidole, mbolo len, mbolo moidole. Moi sunyu jamire mbolo mbolo moi dole mbolo le mbolo moi dole. Thank you.
Oh my, how was that? Amazing. Yes, I saw some people down there. Some people were talking, but others were really feeling it. And over here too, I saw some miming up to it. So a round of applause to Mariama Cham, for Mariama Cham one more time. She always has a way of playing with words, and I don't know, she's super amazing. Great vocals there, and it's always great to have her at least give us that little flavor in our different gatherings. And so I've been told we have a short video that we'd like to show all of you, and this video is about the journey, what has been happening during this 6 months period. Okay, some people are scared because I don't know what's in the video, Uncle Wada. Oh, okay. Is there a zim there, a little zim thing? You know you're going to tell me what the zim means before the end of the debate today. For some reason, I want to know. I don't know, but you will tell me. So we're going to play the short video and show whatever you guys are hiding there, it's all going to come to light now. So once the video is ready, we can get that running. All right, they're telling you what the zig is about. The zim. The zig. Okay. I know I can squeeze up the light to the corner and he's going to say it. I don't know about the rest though. Okay, are we ready? Okay, we can take a moment to look at this.
And Gail Debate Championship 2019.
Right, I am Mr. Usman E. Kamara, but popularly known as Mr. Kamara at Canopy Ace.
Hello, my name is Ami Sahna. I am from Musa Senior Secondary School, venturing in art, and I'm 12 art, and I'm the head girl.
My name is Momodu Diba, a student of Gambia Senior Secondary School, and also again participant for the 2019 debate championship.
I am Abdullah Serigan, a student from Yunus English School, and I'm so happy to be one of the participants of GAIL.
I've gained so many experiences. First is from the sessions that we've just from, which involves, very prominent people like Mr. Jay, right? And then Mr. Baimali Wada. They've really taught us something very important.
I get a lot of experience though, because I can say this is my first time to see certain places. Like I've never been into an island. I have never crossed.
Like they've emphasized on being, a very good, responsible citizen. What are the things that you're supposed to do as a very good citizen? And also, as you are seeing, we are, having a tour, I can say, and rounding the island. Yeah. So we've realized that nature is great, really.
I've experienced a lot. We are on our journey to go back to the where we're staying from a little bit of experience in how the island is, and through that we were expecting to see a crocodile that is at the island, but so unfortunately we were unable to see the crocodile, which is a bad luck for us, but hoping to see it on our next trip. So it's a great experience to go over the island and to see how nature really is.
The experience that I gained from this is a lot, since it all happened on the meet and greet. It's stolen, but because Gail, like as the team goes, Gambia Africa Institute for Leadership, like Mr. Wara and his wife and the rest of the committee, to my experience, they've been doing a very great job to inspire we young people, like to motivate, to help us to voice out the problems we have in our nature, because debate is something that is very essential in our lives. So it gives us the chance to be able to deliver to our country as young people, because also our opinion matters. And also this experience that I've had, especially the one I had today, is most probably the best, because I've always dreamt of like going overseas, exploring to see what my country is more about, and now I've gotten the chance to know like mangroves, to explore the river. It's really a wonderful experience.
I've gained a lot of experience because the first one is it have really helped me to develop my public speaking skills. It was through Gail when I started like being more experienced when it comes to debate and the like. So it has been a big thing, and then we have the opportunity to meet a lot of important people that I've always aimed to have like conversations with, and we have met in different occasions. They have talked to us about their experience. Likewise, we learned a lot from them. Yeah, that's my best experience here. And then today the boat ride, which I have never had before, and then I'm given the opportunity to have it today.
Gail is helping me to reach my goals in different ways, but in very important ways too. Because if you look at it, like PCA said, it's not only about being good, it's about being able to connect with other people. Yeah, because sometimes the problem is communication. We can be good, we are having skills in different areas, but we are all in the same place, and we are supposed to unite and see ways that we can work together and do something for our country. But if you look at it, the main problem of not only Gambia but Africa is communication. I believe another person is a way of making people to talk to one together. Okay, so that is why I am really grateful to Gail. Yeah, definitely.
My experience in this Gail Debate Championship, I have lots of experiences, but just to be precise, president of
because like your competition style and fashion, I cannot say much to that. I'm just grateful, and I also encourage others that are organizing such and other institutions to emulate you guys, because the only way out for us right now is for us to just to discuss about this. Now you take what you
best use of the time that you have. Be with people
and then let them mentor you, respect their views, and then let them inspire you. I think that is nice. Thank you.
The interviews. All right, fine. So what are you from? What are you
Debate Championship 2019. The concept here is to help high school students improve their life skills, which was held at Tango. At the event, we had a Gambian lawyer by the name of Jegan Bahum residing in the UK to talk to them about the styles and techniques of debating. We also put them through challenges for critical thinking and problem solving and teamwork. On August 1st to the 4th, we had the first boot camp, which was held at Sandele in Katong, and with the all 16 schools competed and participated in the first round of the debate competition. During the boot camp, we had motivational speakers, Mr. Esa Fall of the lead council of the TRRC.
Also thank Mr. Waga for the invitation. He has always been a champion of youth and in the forefront of youth empowerment and development in our country. And also here, I had the honor and privilege of seeing him help the youth in Kenya, where he served as a coach of one of the lowest regarded teams in the Kenya.
We could actually be going on and on, but I've been told we're running out of time. So what we'll do is we'll pause the videos for now and start going into the debate proper. So Modu, maybe we start fixing the chairs and where the judges will be sitting. But first, you guys, how was that like? I saw that most of you were laughing. So it really showed that you enjoyed the journey a lot. Did you? I want to hear you say it because I see that in your various boot camps, you had people talk to you. You had the likes of Isafal from the TRRC. So what was he talking about, basically? Yes. Okay. And how was that for you? How was that for you? You enjoyed it. I mean, I saw that. I wish we had time to watch the entire 1 hour video, but I'm pretty sure that we'll do that some other time as well. Hello. Yes, I tried the mic. Looks like Hello. It wasn't working. Is it working? Yeah. Okay. Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So who else did we, who else was there with you guys aside from Safa? Dr. Cisse. And you know when I was coming, I met one of you, and the person was like, yeah, do you know Dr. Cisse? He was there at the boot camp with us. It was really amazing. So maybe Fatima, tell me, what was it that Dr. Cisse talked to you guys about? Because I know he's into politics, and then he's talking to high school students. What was the discussion about, and how did you find that?
He actually talked to us about our roles in peace, in the society, and then how to help build a peaceful society. Yeah. It was really helpful. Like, we have somebody like a lecturer of the Gambia to come and talk to us about it. It was really, really helpful.
Yeah, I can imagine, because normally in debates, we just go and just have our debates and we're done. But in this particular one, you're going on boot camps. You guys are fancy. Like, I don't know, for some reason, at the University of the Gambia, maybe Kamara, you should have thought of that. Take us for some boot camp for some reason, you know? Just take us for some boat riding as well, so that we see the essence in even the debate and the whole interaction. Yes, tell me, how was the boot camp for you? You stand up and introduce yourself to us and tell us how you find it.
My name is Fatou Kourbali, a representative of Grobeb Senior Secondary School. The bootcamp, I really learned a lot from it, because before I never went to those areas like Kartong, those stuffs. So in the morning, I find it difficult to do exercises in the morning, but they force us. Every day we must go.
You did yoga too? Did you yoga?
Yeah.
In the morning?
Yeah.
Early morning?
Yeah.
Good.
I will be on bed and I would say, I'm sick like this, but Sebo would not even allow me to sleep. He would be like, let's go and run those stuff. I really enjoyed it, especially the cultural night where we acted dramas, poetry. It was really amazing.
Oh, great. A round of applause for that as well. You guys had cyber with you, then you died. So, I mean, I hope you're not one of those now students who don't go out and then all of a sudden you see yourself in Kartong and you are like, oh my, I'm in mini heaven. Yes, you tell me, what's your name and how was the experience? What was the highlight for you?
My name is Jennifer Yu from Sukuta Senior Secondary School. We were the first school to drop, but it's really inspired us. We like people like Ensafal, they really inspired us. And we were not having the confidence before, but now we have the confidence.
It's coming on,
yeah,
right?
it's coming on.
Give it a round of applause, please. That is the purpose, to see something change, and I'm glad that that's happening. Yes, tell me, you stand up and introduce yourself to us and tell me what was the highlight for you?
Okay, my name is Ibrahim S. Kamara from St. Augustine Senior Secondary School. So the highlights was something that was very important, and then we've learned a lot about it, and then most especially critical thinking. So critical thinking is a class that I enjoyed the most, because that is where we were taught how to think out of the box, because as a debater, that is one of the skills that you need in order for you to convey your message in a simple manner. So critical thinking was something that I really adored, and then I believe that it's something that it applies to each and every participant that was present that day. I thank you.
Oh, great. And are you debating today? So you are applying the critical thinking skills today, right? Well, I'll be looking forward to that. And yes, you to tell me what's your name, where you're from, and what was the best part of the journey?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Arthur Bonoke from St. Augustine Senior Secondary School. Well, one of the great part in all the activities we faced was the problem-solving skills. Because most people were given topics in which you need to solve from meet and greet event, and we work in pairs, in groups as well, and we solve those problems by ourselves without the help of anyone. So in that sense, it's telling people that we need to think faster, as he said, think outside the box, so that we were able to solve the problems that were given to us. So that was one of the great aims that I learned from that as well. Thank you very
nice. A round of applause for all of them, please. Great. I think that the boot camp was really worth it, because we could have just said, we'll be calling on you guys after every round. You come and do your debate, and then you go back home. But this was a moment for you to learn new skills and get to develop yourself even more. And from what I can see, it really was worth it for you, and most of you enjoyed. Even those who were eliminated along the way felt that it was just not a competition, but something they can go home with. So a round of applause to all these amazing, amazing debaters. Right? Okay, so now we're about to get into the business. And of course, we cannot have a competition without judges. And I do not know how this selection was made, but the people I see here, the caliber of judges I see here, I'm pretty sure that this is really going to be a very fair competition, because these are people who are just not, public speakers. These are prominent debaters, people that we know, and people that I've personally worked with. And I must say that they're really inspirational to a lot of young people because of what they bring on the table. And the chief judge, in fact, is also at the TRRC, and he's very, very prominent, and he's vast in this field. So I know that today is going to be very interesting, how the many skills that they will merge to give us the best result that we aspire to see in this competition. So I'll first of all start by introducing the judges for them to take their seats. And are we set? Modu? Okay, so I'll start by introducing Mr. Boubacar Traoré. Mr. Boubacar Traoré is here. A round of applause for him. He's also served. He's a debater. He's been debating all his life as well. Won many titles in his other, the UTG SU. Was that the 17th SU? 16th, the 16th University of the Gambia Student Union as the information minister, and he's done quite well. And I still know Baka Traoré because he's indeed left a mark in the school. And next we have Mariama Danso. Mariama Danso is also a debate champion who was also at the University of the Gambia Debate Association, and he's also won a lot of titles in this country, not only at the university level, but even at national level. So Mariama, thank you very much. A round of applause for her as well. And we also have another Iron lady here to join. I like the fact that this is balanced because we're going to have 2 ladies and 2 gentlemen in this panel. So that is indeed a good choice made there. So this other person is no other than Madam Fatoumata A. Kamara, who happens to be the former UTG Debate Association's president. And she is a debate champion. She's won debates at her senior school. She has won debate at the university level. She's won national debates. She has won American Corner debates. So she is a debate champion, and I give her a round of applause. This is indeed going to be very interesting. And last but not least is a chief judge who is, shall I say a council, Mr. Ka, at the TRRC? What do I? A commissioner, okay, who is a youth commissioner at the Truth, Reconciliation, Reparations Commission. But even before that, Mr. Ka has really championed a lot of debate initiatives in the University of the Gambia. Mr. Ka he's been debating, he's really mentored a lot of debaters we see now, the likes of A. Kamara, the likes of Mariama Danso. He's really mentored all these people sitting in this panel today, and he's going to serve as the chief judge of this competition. We trust in his resource, we trust in his capabilities, and we trust in his expertise. Mr. Ka, a round of applause for our chief judge for tonight. Please stand, please. Let them see you. Please, Commissioner. Yes, thank you so much. So these are our judges for today's competition. And now I move on to our different speakers for this debate. And I'll first of all introduce the topic for today's debate. And the topic I have here is, okay, I think I wrote it somewhere, but it's simply, this House believes that President Barrow should honor the 3 years agreement. This House believes that President Barrow should honor the 3 years agreement. So, indeed, I believe that this is going to be very interesting because we're discussing this at the very right time. And hearing high school students' perspective would really matter. And the fact that we are live on social media, I think everybody should start sharing this because it will be very interesting, the things we'll hear here on this panels today. And the people on the government bench are... Do I have the government bench ready? And what I mean by the government bench, because this is the BP style, we're going to be referring to them as the government bench and the opposition bench. Now, the government bench is for the motion, right? And the opposition bench is not for the motion. And on the government bench, we have Nusrat. Do we have Nusrat Senior Secondary School here? And with Nusrat, we have Ami Sohna and Abdullah Cham. Round of applause. If you're here, Nusrat, please. Make some noise for your people, please. Are you going to be sitting there and looking at them? So who is the Prime Minister in that order? Okay, you're speaking first. Yeah, this way, and the next person comes right after. Okay, and a round of applause for Nusrat. One more time, please. And we have still on the government bench, we have St. Augustine Senior Secondary School, and